Well, as we move into the final essay, I want you to use 4 or 6 sources. We've got the book, a couple of articles I shared with you and that you studied so well. And then do a date-limited search with Google, 2008, Montagnier, Barré, Nobel Prize, Gallo, whatever. And if you limit it to 2008, you'll find a lot of articles. And they're going to talk about, as the paper suggests, why Gallo deserves credit. Even Montagnier basically expressed regret that it's a pity Bob Gallo isn't getting credit along with us. And then also, why the French deserve credit. And the idea here is you start off with, you introduce it, who, what, where, when, and why. And I would start with the Nobel Prize, 2008. 2 discoverers of the virus that causes AIDS were given the prize, but one, Dr. Gallo, who was so significant a contributor in the discovery of the virus, was left out. And then make a conclusion. Do you think Gallo should have been included, or do you think Gallo should have been, as he was, excluded? And then the way you develop this is you start off by giving Gallo all the credit you can. And then you give the French all the credit you can. And then you move to your decision. You probably would want to talk about there is that why the French deserve the credit and Gallo doesn't, or why Gallo does deserve the credit along with them. That's your conclusion. And it's based on a Rogerian argument, and he was a psychologist, and the idea is that the goal of an argument isn't to say, we're right, we won, the heck with you. The goal of an argument is to explore the complexity. So the way he structures it in this short web page, which I will include, is that introduce the problem. Who deserves the Nobel? Should it have been just the French, or should Gallo have been included? Acknowledge the other side. Now, if you think Gallo should have been included, I would say start with Gallo, 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 and leave it at that. And next, present your side, the other side, the French being included, and then bring the 2 sides together. And what I mean is that talk about how, while both contributed immensely, give them both credit, then say either they all deserve credit or Gallo should have been excluded because of the way he acted. Either way. And so, but the idea is to achieve balance, to give credit to Gallo. No, it doesn't line up. It's not like 2 sides of an argument, flat tax versus progressive tax, abortion legal, abortion illegal. It's actually 2 sides of a question, and they're not contradictory. So that's the one thing. So you're going to start off with Gallo, just because you may as well, and that's in the assignment, and then you're going to start off with the French. So it doesn't line up entirely because you may think all of them deserve credit. But the point is, in a Rogerian, is that you really give credit to both the French and to Dr. Gallo, and then you bring the 2 sides together in a conclusion saying, while they both were essential for the discovery of the AIDS virus, and the French, of course, discovered it first, and then you land on your conclusion, I think Gallo should or shouldn't be included, and because. So that's roughly what I'm looking at, is kind of a balanced argument that gives Dr. Gallo and the French a lot of credit before deciding who should be included in the Nobel. I hope that helps you a little bit, and that's kind of here with the way the essay is shaped as well. And so I'm going to include this with this short voice thread with a separate link for a Rogerian argument. The other thing, use a citation generator and make sure it's pretty easy. Whatever sources you use, you just plug in the information And you'll see when you open up the citation generator. And the other things, I want 2 quotes from separate sources in each body paragraph, because I want you to be able to use your critical thinking to find from separate readings how they're talking about the same thing, Gallo deserving credit, the French deserving credit, and bring that stuff together. And then also one thing that you're going to talk about in your conclusion is that's when you want to acknowledge that Gallo really didn't play fair, but I don't want to be the focus of the paper. I want you to focus on how both sides contributed scientifically. And so in the conclusion, if you want to keep Gallo out or include him, you have to say that, unfortunately, Robert Gallo kind of got in his own way by being very aggressive of trying to gain sole credit for discovering the virus. So find a statement or 2, maybe a quote as you move into the conclusion, and then decide whether or not he should be included in the Nobel Prize. And again, look to 4 to 6 sources, quotes from 2 sources in each body paragraph, and I hope this lines it up pretty well for you, okay? And just trying to give you a good sense of where you're going with this final essay. And, we'll be done in just a few days. The other thing is I will have a 2-hour class hour on Tuesday. If you want to talk about the final essay, show me your drafts. Also, I'll finish all of your essay corrections tomorrow, Saturday. So you may want to talk about revising the 3rd essay. And finally, if you do need the time and you want to talk about a revision on Tuesday, I will open up another final office hour on the last day of class if you want to show me any final revisions on Thursday. And then we're done. And congratulations on making it through a very quick course. I think it's a challenge for you and for me to keep everybody on track in such a short and fast course. So I hope this helps you get a feeling for the next few days, and feel free to email me if you have any questions.